Welcome back, everyone, to another nostalgic episode of Back to the Basics. Today is October 31st, 2020. So, you know what that means, right?
Jack is back now, everyone sing on this day of Halloween.
Captain Jack, what are you doing here?
I'm here to trick or treat, chew bubblegum, and drink some rum, mate.
Oh, I'm down with that, but where's Eddie?
Come again?
Well, what are we going to be talking about today, then?
We're gonna be talking about trick or treating, goosebumps, satanic rituals, all good stuff.
Okay.
It's Halloween, mate.
Let's get spooky.
Let's get into the episode.
Welcome, Captain Jack Sparrow, to the podcast.
Thank you for having me on today, mate. Yes, it is Captain Jack. I'm glad you got that right. Most people don't. Yes, captain of my own ship, the Black Pearl.
There you go. That's cool. I'm glad to have you here. Today is Halloween, right?
Is this Halloween?
This is Halloween.
Oh, yes.
And I'm excited. I know Eddie was excited. I don't know why he's not here.
I kicked him down this large hole into Davy Jones' locker, and as he fell, he told me a great many things about this podcast.
Okay.
And I figured I had to come on and
So are you
take his place.
So are you staying for good or just for the Halloween?
We may never find out.
No.
I might be here off and on.
We may not survive the night.
You never know.
Halloween's
It's
scary.
Halloween.
Halloween's scary. So, Captain Jack, growing up, what were you afraid of? Were you afraid of monsters or men?
When I was growing up, I was very much afraid of monsters.
Monsters.
Yes, monsters, especially in movies, television, monsters are a little more frightening to me than just, say, your everyday man walking down the street with a machete in hand. Mute.
You keep talking, Captain Jack. I don't know if you're aware of this podcast. I don't know if Eddie had told you, but at this podcast, we're Jason Voorhees, a big fan base.
He's a psychopath.
Hey, we're all psychopaths.
This
right?
is true.
We are the typical
love it.
American psychopath.
American Psycho.
That's what I am for Halloween this year. Your typical American
Interesting.
psychopath. Yeah.
That's a great choice.
Just look like
I love
your
it.
normal Josh.
Normal everyday dude. Thank
Yeah.
you, Joshua. I love it. Let's dive into the podcast. Halloween.
Yes.
What is your favorite Halloween memory?
Memory, like as in like a childhood memory.
Anything through your whole Halloween experiences? What's your favorite memory?
Well, being an adult now, I don't grow up. I don't.
Yes.
But I don't really suit up. I don't
Dress up,
I
cosplay.
don't dress up. Yeah, I really haven't in a long time. Many years. Probably since I was a teenager. Yeah, so trick-or-treating obviously is out the door. I don't have kids, so I don't, get to take them. And I think if I did have kids, obviously them dressing up, you want to be part of that imagination with
Kind
them.
of pull you into it.
So
yeah.
I would dress up too, like let's be little Jedis or whatever, or whatever we do that year. But that would be cool. But
That'd be cool.
for me, the Halloween, my favorite part of it every year now is that night where we carve pumpkins, turn the lights down low, put a spooky movie on or some spooky music, and bake some cookies, and you got that vibe, you got candy, and you're just enjoying the moment. And it's very dark, and orange is my favorite color, so I love the theme of Halloween. Orange and black is my favorite combo. But it's that night of carving pumpkins. It's almost equivalent to the night of like when you set up your Christmas tree.
Ooh, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Two of
so
the
it's like
very
getting
best.
ready for Halloween night.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, carving pumpkins for me and my family when I was young, it was tradition.
Yes.
And that's the one thing that I've noticed on this podcast. You guys talk about traditions.
Yes.
And nostalgia and getting back to the basics and the traditions that you create when you're young children and carving pumpkins and trick-or-treating and doing all those things. Like my favorite was to carve pumpkins with my family.
Yeah.
my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad. My dad was always making makeshift pumpkin pictures because sometimes it would come with a little stick-on.
Oh, okay, you had a little dot. Yeah, poke the holes and then like
kind of like trace the pumpkins.
Gives you the layout.
My dad wanted to do his own thing, his own pictures.
Oh,
49ers, the 49er symbol right there.
Cool.
Boom. So that was
who would have known? Captain Jack Sparrow, 49er fan.
Yes, my father, big 49 fan, Niners all day. But yes, that was one of the great things is pumpkin carving, and then you take those seeds from the pumpkins and you bake them.
Oh man, roasting in the oven, those seeds, and it's that constant throughout the night. You have smells. I don't know, we've talked about this before, and usually in my mind, more of the smells take me back, make me nostalgic. It takes me back to those memories.
Triggers a memory.
Yeah, and so when you have like cookies or pastries baking and you're carving pumpkins and you could smell the warmth of the oven and the sweets and you're carving a pumpkin and that has its own aroma with this gushy intestines. And it's so good. And you have candy and then you bake the seeds. And it's just like this overwhelming sensory overload of a night.
Yes, sprinkle some salt, eat your pumpkin seeds, and then dress up in your favorite costume and go out trick-or-treating. And when I was a kid, it was all about the costumes. It was all about getting dressed, and my family has always been sort of like a make-your-own costume kind of thing. They would buy me some costumes. I remember being like a Power Ranger or like Chucky.
Ninja Turtle.
Ninja
I
Turtle.
think we were all a Ninja Turtle one year.
But when I got older, I started making my own costumes. I said it's much better than something you can find at the store.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
The material is very cheap, very thin, and I always had this creativity about me that I wanted to get out, and so I'd make my own costumes and make everything and find stuff at the thrift store and just get creative and make something that you probably can't find in store, or if you did, you would have to pay northwards of $100.
It's got your own flair,
little
to it.
twist to it.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
so
just not something you buy in a package.
The creativity of it all, and so that was the one thing that I wanted to ask you, Joshua, is what kind of costumes were you? There's kids who are like more masks or the whole outfit. What kind of kid were you?
Well, I never got creative with like cosplaying. Definitely growing up, a lot of Halloweens where it was only a cheap like dollar store.
Yeah.
Like I remember, I think one year it was like Tweety Bird and Sylvester. And that's all we, you know what I'm saying? Wow. That's all we had.
Yeah.
We're like little kids, but it was
cool.
like, and obviously I took Sylvester. I think I might have took Tweety. I don't
Tweety
know.
Bird.
But some simple like that. It was a lot of like cheap plastic masks, like just the ones with the little stretch thing that goes around your head, just some basic little string. I think probably there was 2 times. Probably one of the coolest like full suits, full face paint was my grandma did Dracula on me. So painted me all up.
Vampire.
Yeah, vampires, baby. Woo, Dracula, take me. You
Are
got
you a
3
bloodsucker?
wives. Give me one of them wives, Dracula.
Are you a
hoarding wives.
bloodsucker?
What?
A bloodsucker. Creature of the night.
I might have the fangs for it.
You do have fangs. When I kicked Eddie down that hole to Davy Jones' locker, he told me, he warned me about you. He said, that Joshua, he's got fangs. He shaved his teeth.
I don't know about that.
What is that about?
It sounds like some fake news. You need to be fact checked.
What is this fangs thing I hear?
I love fangs. I love vampires.
But do you have them? Is that what you use?
I can't tell you that. You gotta.
Is that what you use to prey on your...
Maybe.
On your people in the night?
I was never afraid of vampires. I was always more attracted to
Interesting.
female vampires.
Suki Stackhouse.
Well, she's not a vampire, but I love me some True Blood, baby. Woo-wee, Jessica, my baby girl.
If you could get a bag of True Blood, would you drink it?
Well, no, I don't want synthetic blood from Japan. No, I want oh, my baby girl, True Blood.
Suki
No,
Wait.
this is Jessica Hamby. Jessica Hamby.
Oh, I'm more of a Suki fan.
Hey, I love me some Sookie Stackhouse.
Yes, ever since X-Men.
Okay.
She
You were into that Rogue.
give it to me.
Oh,
Rogue,
yeah.
the white hair.
But costumes was always cool. But yeah, we did Dracula when I was young, and when I became a teenager, and I think it might have been the last time I actually like dressed up and went trick or treating.
Really?
And it was the first time that I was near kids getting their bags of candy stolen. It had happened around
Is
us,
that a
and it
thing?
was yeah, and it was a lot of more older teens in the area, and they were like preying upon the kids, and they snatched up their bags and ran. But that year, it sucked, but that was the only time I ever seen that.
In the blue hell.
Yeah, I had like glass. My babysitter, she was all into makeup, so she had like glass shards like shoving, like coming out of my fucking eye and my face, and it looked like I had like almost like a pinhead, but like
That's
glass.
sadistic. That's scary.
Halloween is sadistic,
Is it now?
isn't it not?
Tell me these things. Tell me these rumors, these stories about how Halloween is evil.
You don't think Halloween's evil?
I think Halloween is what you make it, mate.
You have millions. I think I believe like Halloween itself draws in, I think, like $500 million annually.
So you think
So why do
Halloween is
people-
created by the candy company?
No theory. No. I just think that it's definitely a marketplace.
Oh, yes.
What
If
is it
something
about
works.
Halloween though?
If
that,
something
like,
works, market it.
everybody just, and it's like every year it gets deeper and deeper.
It's the whimsical, the mystery of it all. Dark pumpkins, they lit up. Everything looks so creepy and weird, and it's very alluring.
Oh, darkness is very alluring.
It's
The dark
very
side.
alluring. It pulls you in and sucks your soul. And maybe that's what it's all about. They want your soul. So they market the fun of it all, you know?
Mhm.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the fun of it all, and underneath and the underlying tones, they really want to get you to.
But what is it about children dressing up as ghouls
It's fun. It's just fun.
and going house to house,
It's very
tricking
much.
and treating?
So you're getting
What
to the
is
root
that?
of
Yeah,
it all.
what is it all?
Well, I mean, you
And
when-
why is it alluring?
When you go to a house, you don't know what you're gonna get, either a trick or a treat. Some people might put some razor blades and apples. You never know; it might be a trick.
Did you see
but you
that in
think it's a treat.
Halloween 2? The kid with the razor blade?
I heard
It's
a
disgusting.
rumor that traumatized you as a kid.
It was very similar to the scene in It.
Tell that story. What is it?
Halloween 2, Michael Myers. There's a little kid in the emergency room, and it was Halloween night, and he must have got an apple in his sack. And when he went to go bite into it, there was a thin circular razor blade in the apple. So when he bit into it, it just locked into both top and bottom of his jaw, and he was just like, oh!
What kind of maniac would do that to a kid?
That time, but that is when I was like, yo, fuck Halloween, bro.
Would you bob for apples? In the witch's cauldron, apples floating around.
In just a bubbling cauldron, just shove my head in there and melt.
Would you do it?
No,
Do you think that witches are after children?
of course they are, but I'm not into witches. I'm anti-witch.
Witches give me the heebie-jeebies.
I'm more of like if Van Helsing and Blade were the same person.
So you want to be a badass
Not,
vampire?
not in it for a
witch
badass.
hunter.
Well, yeah, Van Helsing. I gotta kill them supernatural spirits.
So Hugh Jackman is both Van Helsing and Wolverine. He's what? Who casted that?
Were you into that movie? Had the classic holiday Halloween tropes. You have witches, you have vampires, you have werewolf, you have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
It's very interesting. It has everything that I love, but I was not into that movie.
What?
I was not a big fan. Maybe it's because I just saw
And he becomes
Wolverine.
He becomes it, and they
It's Hugh
fight
Jackman.
against
He's
each-
just Wolverine.
Oh no, man!
That's it. I'm just waiting for him to pull out the claws and go, yeah. Just waiting for
We
the claws.
haven't had a really good Halloween vampire werewolf movie in a while, have we? I don't think so.
I don't believe so.
There's no vampires on the screen anymore. They're all on little
That's interesting.
TV dramas.
It's because they're going into hiding.
What?
They're all in Hollywood.
And these hills have eyes, and I have paranoia.
Is that too scary for you? So witches, vampires, cauldrons, blood, sacrifices. What? You said something about Halloween not being for children?
Oh.
Is this correct?
Oh, it's definitely for children,
Mm.
but not for them trick-or-treating.
So are the children being shown this to grow up to basically become what you say Halloween is celebrated by?
What, Samhain?
What is Samhain?
It's Halloween.
What is this?
I believe
I've
that's
never
how you
heard
pronounce
this.
it. Samhain. That's the original. That was the
So
night.
you take Saw and Halloween and just drop the
I
Halloween.
believe it's Samhain.
Samhain.
I could be wrong, but I believe it's Samhain. That's what they believe. I think it's pagan or something.
Okay, pagan holidays. Are pagan holidays actually bad? Is that like a thing? Because I always thought pagan holidays like good.
So
What's up with that?
what if it had bad intention and bad roots? But today we all celebrate it, especially in the Americas. We celebrate these every year, right?
It's like taking something bad and turning it into something good.
But it doesn't erase what's bad about it. But to you, if you have these beautiful memories of your childhood, growing up, waking up next to a Christmas tree, carving pumpkins and celebrating these holidays,
These traditions.
but it's good for you. Do you feel that does anything else matter?
I think, and I believe I said it before, I think Halloween is what you make it. It's definitely what you choose to celebrate. Are you celebrating demon and blood sacrifices and drinking cups of blood, or are you dressing up and getting together with your family and throwing a Halloween party and just enjoying each other's companies and just getting to be someone else for the day?
Yeah.
Other than the mundane, everyday who you are, have to go to a job, go to work. Do you just want to be a pirate for the day?
Yeah.
Do you want to be the Joker? Do you want to be Batman? Everybody wants to be Batman.
Not me.
No, Superman all day. Get out of here.
Baby Kal-El.
Pirates.
And I agree
What's
with you.
wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that, and I agree with you. And it's a lot of fun, but there is a lot of people that don't celebrate Halloween, right? Like they're like super anti-Halloween.
That's very true. That's very true. And to each their own, It's
To each their
to each their own. If you choose to celebrate Halloween, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to celebrate or worship satanic rituals. Worship Satan. Put your name in the devil's book, as it were. If you choose to celebrate Halloween and take your kids trick-or-treating and let them have fun and enjoy themselves and go around looking for candy, I think a lot of people do, especially now, like candy hunts, almost like Easter egg hunts.
Oh, really?
Yes, I think that's a new thing, especially for 2020, because you almost can't go around trick-or-treating anymore.
Yeah, I guess there's
So
no
now
trick-or-treating.
you just get everybody together, hide some candies, and it's like an Easter egg hunt.
So you were big into trick-or-treating?
Yes, I loved trick-or-treating. Trick-or-treating, just going around the neighborhood, all my friends, we'd all dress up, and going and actually experiencing other people's houses that they would decorate.
Yeah. They would have
Some
like...
people, they just really got into it.
Did you ever have like go into neighborhoods where they set up like 2 or 3 lawns across, and
The
they would do
best.
like a haunted house, like a little mini community haunted house?
Yes.
So good. They would have lights. People would dress. The thing that scared me most was walking up to a door. There was horror. Like you get that as a kid, like, and it was always your parents where are back on the sidewalk.
They better be.
So it's a walk of courage. You want that
You
piece
gotta
of
walk
candy?
up to the door.
You gotta walk up to horror and face the door and let the door open to see what you were gonna be shocked
And
by.
they're yelling behind you, "It's okay, Timmy.
Yes!
Go get the candy. Don't be afraid." And you're shaking in your little pirate boots.
And it scares me, and that's fun because that's that horror that's fun.
Are you gonna go get your candy
The
or not?
scare. What about when the dudes, when it would look like there was like a stuffed scarecrow that was like sitting on a bench in front of the door, and then like they wait till you get all the way up there, and the door opens, and they just.
I know
they
a couple
jump
of mates
out.
who had their fun doing that for many years.
My dad did that for a while. Yeah, he scared the shit out of kids that would walk up to the door.
That's almost like a ritual when you go from, okay, now you're getting older, you can't trick or treat anymore. Well, what do you do for
You gotta
Halloween?
scare the kids.
You've got to pass on the tradition and scare the next generation of children. You got to scare the next kids because who else is going to do it?
Yeah.
So now you're passing out the candy and you're giving that experience to the younger generation, and that's really cool.
How boring was it though? You just walk up to a house with a little normal light on, and oh cool, what are you? And then they just give you candy and you walk away.
Lame.
That's what's weird though. That was when it was weird.
That's lame.
It was at least have some lights on, some flickers,
Yes.
like make it.
The whole effect.
You can put a little speaker out there and just have some spooky music.
Me and my family would get deep into it, very much hardcore decorations.
deep.
I see you've done something of the sort here.
Hey, yeah, we got some spookiness going on in the dojo here.
And see, it just adds that extra layer that, like you said, of course you can walk up to a house with a single light on and get your candy and go. And that's almost like the breath between the next house, which is all decked out. And it's like, oh, can I just go back to that house? But yeah, it was always really fun decorating with my family.
And the coolest was getting home from trick-or-treating and just dumping that bag of candy out.
You don't know what you're gonna
Were
get.
you into bags or were you into like the little what are they
For a
called?
long time,
Like
I liked my bucket, my
bucket,
plastic bucket.
the plastic bucket.
Has a pumpkin on it or a witch or whatever. Cat, ghost. I believe McDonald's did that for a very long time.
I had the ghost one from McDonald's. I loved
Very
it.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the 90s, baby.
The 90s is where it's at. I was around back then. But it was just really cool. I was more of a bucket guy. I believe I had a couple bags.
Candy though.
I think you could fit more
In bags.
in a bag than you could a
Of
bucket.
course.
Yeah.
So where was it at the candy? What was the first thing? You dumped the candy all over the floor. Where was your eyeballs going to? What's the score, baby? What
I
is it?
better see some Jolly Ranchers, Skittles, Starburst, no chocolate.
I was gonna say, where's the what about chocolate bars?
Don't give me that Three Musketeers. Don't give me that.
Milky Way.
No Milky Way. Snickers. All right. Reese's. Acceptable.
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces is much like Skittles. There's just a little pop in your mouth.
Don't ever compare Skittles and Reese's Pieces
Well, yes,
because
'cause
it's
Skittles are
Reese's
better.
gang all day. Are we
Skittles-
always at war, Captain Jack?
We're at war on the high seas. Captain Jack Sparrow's here to cut you down.
There you go.
Skittles is 100 times better. Everybody knows it. Taste the rainbow. They don't have a taste the chocolate. What? Taste the chocolate? Get out of here.
Dude, okay, but you do
Taste the
realize that
rainbow.
the rainbow is a lie, much like reality. The rainbow doesn't exist. Every Skittle has the same flavor.
What is this rumor? Where did you hear this, mate?
Every Skittle is the same flavor. The only difference is the color of the shell tricks the mind.
Who harmed you?
It tricks the mind.
Who?
Oh, it's like Matrix.
So they're all the same flavor.
Supposedly.
Well, on my ship and my crew at the high seas, we love Skittles, all right?
What's your favorite color? You asked you like how I asked what's your favorite color, not your favorite flavor.
My favorite flavor
It's the color.
that matches with my favorite color is probably the green, the apple, green apple Skittles.
Do you
Very
one of the first things I kind of went to because you're on a rush, on the high of trick or treating, we go for Warheads. Pop them warheads in your mouth, baby, and let's get going, because we're staying up all night.
But you can't have too many because they tear up the roof of your mouth. Just so much acidic.
Do you think
My
that
mouth
the
is watering
roof
right now.
of your mouth is anywhere in question the night of Halloween?
It would get raw. I would be in
crunching
physical
on
pain.
lemon heads. They're all stuck to your teeth.
My brother was a big fan of Lemonheads and Mike and Ike's. Those were his two.
Mike and Ike's are
Mike
fire.
and Ike's and Lemonheads.
What about the cinnamon Mike and Ike's? What are those
Never
called?
liked those.
Cinnamon
Red Hots.
Red. What are they called?
Red Hots, I believe.
Ooh, what about the little what about the fireballs?
Yes.
Fire.
See, so candy. When it comes to candy, it's all the fruity flavors. It wasn't so much chocolate. Chocolate, you get one chocolate, they're all the same. You just add some nuts and some nougat.
I was gonna say, yeah, you can put some nougat and it's good.
No. You gotta give me different flavors of candy.
What about Butterfingers? I was a huge fan of Butterfingers.
Butterfingers was very good, but it reminds me of like a dead man's finger. You don't want to bite into a dead man's finger. It's disgusting.
The way I used to eat Butterfingers as a
It's
kid
disgusting.
was I would peel off with my teeth all the chocolate, and then I would have the Butterfinger.
Okay, Hannibal.
It was good that way. I enjoy all the chocolate, and then it's nothing but that
Butterfinger.
whatever that is.
But you better not lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
I won't. I'll let you have one.
Cowabunga.
No, the candy was cool. The candy's
Yes.
fun. Trick or treating always has that fun night. But what happens afterwards? You stay up watching some spooky movies?
I was just gonna say, what about the rest of the tradition? When it's Halloween, you can't have trick or treating and dressing up and decorating and carving pumpkins without the end of the night. This is the spooky movie, the scary movie.
Mhm.
You've got to have the scary movie to kind of finish the night off while you're eating your candy, dumping out your treasure, your booty, what you found for
Your
the night,
booty.
your booty. Dump it all out. Put on.
Halloween was kind of
I
that.
was just gonna say Halloween.
At first was it was that night where you kind of were allowed to watch a movie you normally don't get to watch.
Because you could stay up.
Well, and because they usually watch a horror movie and it has like stuff like Wishmaster and Hellraiser and Candyman, and these murders are happening.
Leprechaun.
Oh God, Child's Play,
Chucky.
Chucky, man,
Chucky.
scare the shit out of you, bro. And I'm telling you,
That little demonic.
as a
doll.
child, man, when a child sees those things on screen, like with the razor blade in the mouth and it coming out of the toilet and the sinks and blood coming everywhere, that shit like fuses with your mind.
We're
as a
all
child.
damaged.
Yeah,
We're
damaged
damaged
goods. Now you owe me a candy bar.
So you talked about candy, mate, and you gave me this bag of pop rocks. What is this? Is this literally rocks that you pop in your mouth?
You ever had Pop Rocks? I haven't had these in years.
This is candy?
This is
Adult candy.
crystal candy.
Crystals.
Crystals.
Flavored crystals.
Yes, little flavored
Interesting.
crystals that pop in your mouth.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's try it right now.
I remember as a kid, I put it in my mouth, and my mouth it felt like my head blew off.
Are you ready?
So
So there's like a bunch of canyons going off in your mouth.
yeah, it's like you're used to battles.
Shipwreck.
Yeah, it's a shipwreck.
Down the head.
Ah.
Tally ho, mate.
Tally ho. It's like a Halloween ASMR.
Very interesting. They literally pop in your mouth.
That popped a lot more than I thought it would.
It's been
Been a long time.
yeah.
You gotta eat candy on Halloween, dude.
Oh yes. We've got a bunch behind us.
I'm not a big candy guy.
Do you
Very
love
rare.
ring pop?
I haven't had a ring pop since I was a wee lad.
A wee lad.
I haven't had a ring.
It
I haven't
might be
sat there
time.
and sucked on a ring pop.
It might be time to
Since I was
put
a
that
kid.
ring pop back in your mouth.
Oh God. But what was fun was a lot of the horror movies.
At the end of the night. right?
Yeah.
You dressed up all day and went trick or treating.
Falling asleep with your costume on, eating candy. Like laying on a pallet in the living room.
That is a nostalgic memory. It just takes you back. falling asleep in your costume, dressed up as Darth Vader or Chucky or Power Ranger, and you got your mask on and you're watching the movie,
Holding on to your lightsaber.
holding onto your lightsaber. Biggest kids, lightsabers, man. Everybody wanted to be a Jedi.
Yeah.
I don't think you wanted to be a Sith until
I want to be a Sith.
probably until Phantom Menace. That's probably when everybody wanted to be a Sith.
Well, you didn't idolize Darth Vader?
No,
A
I was
lot
a
of
Luke
kids were-
Skywalker fan.
No, a lot of
No.
Darth Vader outfit for
Blue
Halloween.
lightsaber.
So who you gonna say is better Halloween outfit? Yoda, Luke, or Darth Vader as a Halloween outfit?
It's probably Yoda and Vader.
Of course. It's
All
Vader.
the little babies were probably Yoda. Baby Yoda comes back full circle. But
yeah,
yes,
dude.
the Halloween spooky scary movies.
What were some of those movies that you watched that like during those Halloween nights?
Well, I know we had mentioned Child's Play,
Mhm.
Chucky. Chucky was my parents would always put it on. Chucky running around with a knife, dressed me up as Chucky. Little red hair as a kid.
I just wanted
There's
Jason.
Chucky.
I always just wanted Jason to kick Chucky like a football.
He probably would
He
if they ever
would've.
did
It
that.
would've been
Yes.
no comparison.
And then Chucky would come running back and jump on him and stab him in the
Stab
eyes.
him in the neck. Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, Chucky, Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream. Scream was very big in my household. You have the
Ghostface Killer, huh?
Ghostface, The Mask. What's your favorite scary movie? What's your favorite scary movie, Josh?
Friday the 13th.
Jason, again.
Again, all day,
We can't
baby.
get past Jason.
No,
There's
never.
nothing else.
No.
I Know What You Did Last Summer. Nothing.
No. Oh, no.
Hook.
That's low links.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Like,
Slasher.
hey, I'll bring it up. I was a huge fan, and it's not really a slasher or killer, but I was a huge fan of The Craft.
You mentioned that, yes.
Nev Campbell.
And see, that's interesting because you say you don't like witches, but
Well,
you like The Craft.
I like hot witches.
Most witches, especially nowadays, are hot witches. The only- I mean,
Yeah.
even in Hocus Pocus, you have the three sisters. Two of them are not very good looking, but then you have the one hot witch. She's all slutty, running around amok, amok, amok. It's what's her name?
Jennifer
Sarah-
Jessica Parker.
Yeah, Sarah Jessica Parker.
And to say that to say that Sarah Jessica Parker is attractive, that's a bold statement, Captain Jack.
As a kid, you know,
No,
she was the younger, hotter witch. She was very thin.
Got
and
you.
She was just running around wanting children, I guess. That was a very weird movie.
Never watched it.
You've never seen Hocus Pocus?
Nah, anytime it was on, I was just like, change the channel or get out of here. I'm going to bed. I'm going to play Game Boy.
What?
Yeah, I
You've
was never
never
into it. Like I said, I'm not into witches.
It's 2020 and you've never seen Hocus Pocus. It's time to change all that, mate.
I'll watch it.
Yes, you must. It's a
Yeah.
Halloween must. Hocus Pocus is right up there with Casper,
Casper, you see,
the friendly ghost. The only friendly ghost.
before the movie ever came out, I was a huge fan of the old cartoon.
Ooh, the cartoon.
The old cartoon, old, and I think they like
It was like 70s, 80s.
Yeah, but then there was like new specials, like going up in the 90s. There was always like a new Casper, like little special animated movie.
I loved Casper.
I loved Casper, and what I loved even more of not just Casper and then my cousin Christina,
Yes.
but she's not my cousin.
I just want to keep her.
She was so cool. I liked her in everything growing up. You know, Wendy or
Yes.
Wednesday
Wednesday.
from Addams Family.
Wednesday. Yes.
Addams Family, dude. You want to get spooky?
Do 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 do.
Oh.
Adam's Family was really cool. Morticia and Gomez Adams, Lurch,
dude. Cousin It.
Cousin It on the hand on.
Cousin It was
I think
the
it was
hairy
hand.
one.
Hand.
I don't
but
know
that's
the
the other
hand.
one. Yeah, they had the hand. It was just a cut off
Oh
hand.
yeah, I
And
know.
It would just run
I
around.
don't remember what it was called.
I think it
though.
was just called hand.
the hand.
Yes.
That's
and then so Lurch, and then you had his brother.
It was Wednesday and
Well, but you had Gomez's brother. It was the dude from Back to the Future.
Uncle Fester.
Uncle Fester, yes.
Dude,
Uncle
what's his name?
Fester.
Did an amazing Uncle Fester in the first movie.
You can't even tell that's Doc Brown
That's
from Back to the
Yep.
Future. You can't even tell.
That's probably my favorite role he's ever been in. Is Uncle Fester. It's so good. That movie is so good.
Are you a fan of part 2? Camp.
I'll watch
They
it.
go to camp. That's classic. Classic
It's not
movies.
as good
They
as the
always
first
go to
one.
camp.
It's not as good as the first one.
You had the I think the nanny.
I
The
love when he's just on his balcony. He's just whack. 4. He's hitting golf balls into his neighbor's house.
Yes,
Dude, Adam's Family is. I think I might have to watch that.
it's a good one.
Today for Halloween.
Casper. I'm probably gonna put on Casper when I get home.
Casper is so good.
The 3 uncles. They're all ghosts.
I thought they were brothers. Are they
I
uncles?
think they're Casper's uncles.
Oh, okay.
They're brothers, but they're
Okay.
Casper's uncle.
Yeah, I love them.
Yes.
And that's what reminded me when you said the 3 witches. And they're just
Yes.
like all different. Like one's a big one,
Ooh.
one's a skinny one.
Mashup of Hocus Pocus and Casper. Yes, give it to me.
What if those are those spirits?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, in the mystical world, you never know.
Never know.
But I just wanted. I was much like Casper. Just can I keep you, Christina Ricci? Can I keep you? That's it. I loved that. I had the biggest crush on her when I was a child.
Can I keep you? To me,
Innocent.
it sounds like Anakin
Love.
saying, "Are you an angel?
Are you an angel?
Can I keep you?"
Yes. He just wanted to keep her. He's so lonely. He has these 3 messed up uncles who just torture him and make fun of him all the time, and he finally finds someone that he just wants to hold on to
Mm-hmm.
and keep and love. It's that child love. He's just
It's
so
innocence.
Yes.
Secret
And then
Garden.
she says the same thing at the end to Casper.
Can I keep, when she
She-
turns into a human, right?
She repeats it. Yes. That movie is so good.
It's definitely worth the watch. I forgot the father's name, but he's really good in it.
It's the guy from
actor.
Independence Day, the actor.
Who the
president.
President dude,
Yes.
yeah. Mm.
Spaceballs.
There you go.
Watch out. He's in there. Yes. So you have all those movies, all those Halloween movies, specials.
But what about it when you were a kid? Like, what about even the younger stuff? Not like the slashers, the horrors, not what's really scary, but what a lot about the spookiness that was targeted towards children.
So right there with those movies, I know I'm leading up to it, but I had
I'm leading up.
I'm
to
leading
it.
up to it, but I had Halloween Town, which was, believe a Disney movie. Halloween Town, the whole thing is all about Halloween, and they have that big pumpkin in the middle square. And that was one of my favorite movies. Another movie about witches that you've
I thought you
probably
were talking
never
about
seen.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
No, it's called Halloween Town, and if you've never seen that, that's another one. But it's very much a Disney movie, targeted for kids, much like Hocus Pocus. But then you have, out of left field, very different, started with books.
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps. Viewer beware, you're in for a scare. Goosebumps, very good.
Amazing.
I was a big fan of Goosebumps, the books, but the TV show as well. The Goosebumps TV show with R.L. Stein at the beginning, and he's walking. I don't know if it's really R.L. Stein.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think it's just an actor. But he's walking, and you see he's at the cliff of the town,
Mm-hmm.
and then the briefcase opens, and all his stories go out through the town, and that's what
So cool.
haunts the town basically, and turns that town into. You have all those stories that come out.
Goosebumps were amazing because it was similar to like collectibles. It was like
The
later
books.
on for like Pokemon cards, you collect them, you
Put 'em
show
on
your
your shelf.
friends. But it was like, yo, look at this. There were so many of them. It was like, can I collect them all?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because the covers were so amazing, and I loved how it had like the bumps
The pop out kind of graphics.
on the covers.
On
Yeah,
the
you
cover.
could feel it. So like the monster blood coming down the stairs, you could feel it on the cover.
Yes.
Goosebumps books at the time, growing up in the 90s, that shit hit in a way that nothing has ever.
You
since
always wanted to be able to go to the Scholastic Fair
Oh,
and be able to
imagine.
purchase some of those Goosebumps books.
At least like 2.
That and like the Roald Dahl books, those were, like James and the Giant Peach. Those were the ones that I was looking for. Goosebumps and Roald Dahl. Anything Roald Dahl.
Oh, interesting.
When I was a kid, yeah, those were very much books that I would read. But Goosebumps, some of the best stories. Say Cheese and Die.
Horrorland.
Night of the Living Dummy, 1, 2, 3, 10, whatever have you.
What about the Mask?
The Mask jumps onto your face and you
That
just
Halloween
can't get it
special.
off.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Like the 2-parter live action.
Yes.
And
the show.
everyone's trick or treating, and then I
puts
believe
on the
it's a little girl. I don't remember.
It might be.
I think it's a little girl. She gets the mask on, or I don't know if that's
And she
part
can't
2.
take it off.
And she can't take it off. She's running around. And everyone's like, "Oh shit!" And it's
Because it looks creepy as hell.
tight. She looks like a little demon.
Yes.
Yeah, Goosebumps was amazing. I loved reading through those books and just getting lost. And I think later down the road, you could choose.
Yes. And I remember Eddie told me a little bit about that before he dropped down that hole. He was like,
really?
bring up Goosebumps, the choose your tale stories.
Oh, okay.
And that he said that those were very good back in the day. Is the choose your own ending, basically.
Yes.
You get to flip through and choose the story. And it's like D&D, but for books.
Yeah.
Role playing and
Yeah.
it was cool.
Just the choice to say like, hey, I'm lost in this fantasy, but then I get to choose and see where it takes me. It was so cool.
You can choose the ending and then go back and choose another ending if you want to. If you didn't like that one,
Replay value.
Rewind.
Something else that was really good. I'm with Goosebumps, and then I know Goosebumps got into the TV show. There was like stuff like, Are You Afraid of the Dark? And I know that one to me was a little bit more scary.
Are you
was
afraid
scarier.
of the dark?
Yeah.
Midnight Society. It's time. Sprinkle your magic powder over that fire and let's get the ghost story started. We're into that segment of this episode. Ghost stories. Are you afraid of the dark, Joshua?
Yes.
I know I was. As a kid, I was deathly scared of the dark. And it might be because of all these TV shows and everything that we would watch that had us afraid of the darkness.
You had to sleep with a nightlight?
I did not, but I would not go and throw out the trash if it was darkness. I would get the trash, run outside, throw it in the thing, and run back inside. Because I was so afraid.
Outside, but not inside.
No, not inside.
So
inside.
what protected that? The walls?
The walls, I guess, because the inside of the house was lit up at night.
So you
there
were
was no
afraid of
darkness.
physical things getting
Outside. If it was dark outside, who knows what's around the
you. So
corner.
you weren't afraid of supernatural things getting you while you were
It could
alone.
be that too. You never know. You're never really safe, are you? Even in your sleep.
That's scary.
It's definitely scary. Ghost stories.
I've always been afraid of the dark, and what makes you entices that fear and just like puts fuel to the fire is ghost stories.
Yes.
And it's just like watching a horror movie at the theaters with your friends, but then you get back in your house and you're alone and everything starts to set in your mind, and it's that story that creeps you the fuck out, and now you're looking at your window like there's a crack in the window and you're looking at it like, I gotta cover that up because I feel like someone's watching me. And I think that is the biggest fear, is that the fear of being watched.
The fear of being watched, the fear of something else being there in the room with you that you cannot see, can't touch, can't do anything about. It's just there and it can attack you at any moment, so you're vulnerable.
Yeah.
You're vulnerable, and that's the thing about ghosts and ghost stories is when they would be told, whether it be around a campfire, in a TV show or whatever, they're so almost realistic that it's like, well, that might be real, because it's about this spirit, about this ghost, about this thing that happened to someone, And the way they tell it, it's like, well, that could easily happen to me.
Yeah.
And so it's just very frightening to, be walking down the street and then you hear something over your shoulder and you turn around and nothing's there. And then you turn back around and there's this little child saying, "Hey, come with me. Can I have a ride?
Little child.
Can I have a ride? Can you take me home?" And then you turn back around and look for adults and there's no one there.
Like the two little girls in The Shining.
And then it's like, is your mind playing tricks on you? It's nighttime. You're on your bicycle. You're riding down the street, and there's this spirit, whatever, saying, "Give me a ride. Give me a ride. Take me home." It's crazy.
About?
It's a ghost story in itself. Where's the ghost? Who is this little child? Who is this person just came out of nowhere? It's ghost stories that you hear on the Seven Seas, man.
Were you into ghost stories over campfire?
That was very big for me. And that comes back to, are you afraid of the dark?
Camping was scarier than going, like, watching horror movies with your family at the theater or home, and then you go into your room and you're, like, staring at your closet because it's cocked open and there's blackness in there. But it was...
You're afraid of the monster in the closet? Of what might be in the closet under the bed?
Sometimes there are things. I mean, you never know. You could be a child and wake up with Robert Downey Jr. in your bed with you, fucking drugged out of his mind. You never know what's going to be in your bedroom.
Way. What?
Yeah, you never know what's going to be in your bedroom.
Iron Man himself. You never know.
Back in the day. Yeah, I totally lost my train of thought.
But no, I mean, campfires and scary stories and ghosts and are you afraid of the dark? The woods, and they would sprinkle the sand or magic around the fire, and then it would light up.
Who would do that?
You've obviously never seen.
Oh my God!
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh yes,
but no, that was the intro. That was the intro, and then that would start like their scary stories. But real life, I mean, if you've done that in real life, you're sitting around a fire with your family telling ghost stories.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were talking about a story itself. I was. Yeah.
It's all the same.
Captain Jack,
man.
You fucking confused me.
It's all the same.
But to wrap Halloween into a day, or into a month. What would be kind of like your farewell? How do you want to end your Halloween today, 2020?
Well, the veil is always thinnest on Halloween. So beware, spirits. They're out there.
Lock your cats up.
The truth is out. Ooh, yes.
Keep your children.
Hide your kids, hide your wife, everything.
Yeah.
Spooky season is upon us. It's Halloween. Carve your pumpkins, eat your candy,
yes,
and watch some spooky movies. Captain Jack says farewell for now. Joshua?
Let's get back to the basics, baby. It was a pleasure having you on, Captain Jack. I would like to just kind of get Eddie back sometime.
We may never see him again. Eddie's dead.
And until next Halloween, friends.
Well, thank you very much for having me on today's podcast, mate. It was a real shipwreck.
It was a lot of fun. We drank a lot of rum.
I love me some rum.
Yes, I could tell. I just kind of was a little curious. Like, we had a good talk and everything. But like,
Yes.
Where was Eddie?
You keep mentioning this Eddie fella. Wait, is that the cat that I kicked down Davy Jones' locker and sold to the mermaids?
What you didn't mention mermaids earlier.
Yes, mermaids.
Like
Real
one?
Yes, scales and all, mate.
So can you take me to them?
I know a guy, but it's gonna take 2 goats, a couple of rubber duckies, a barrel full of rum, and some smashed pumpkins, and I'll take you to the fence in a minute.
Hey, I'm ready to smash some pumpkins and see some mermaids. Until next year, friends, remember, stay nostalgic on that eternal quest to get back to the basics.
Halloween.